Hi, welcome and thanks for using Caboose Fresh. So what we're going to do here is I've got my bag of ingredients, the same as what you'll have, and I've got my recipe or instruction sheet, as we call it, or SOP as we call it. So basically what will happen here is I'm going to follow this, and we've got our head chef Dan here, who's going to give me, talk me through it and give me sort of hints and tips as we go forward. So Dan, just before we get going, do you want to tell us a little bit about this dish?
Yeah, it's a vegetarian dish. It's not vegan, obviously, because of the cheese, but it's vegetarian. It's a dish that we've got on at the restaurant. The only difference in the restaurant is that we freeze the gnocchi once it's made, then we fry it. But what you'll do at home is what you do traditionally. Then you'll boil it and then chuck it into a frying pan afterwards. So you'll have to be careful at that bit, but we'll talk through it step by step anyway. But this is a dish from here, and you'll probably had it before if you've been in the restaurant, but it's a nice one.
Okay, so just to be clear, I've never made this before. The idea here being that I'm the novice and Dan's going to teach me or talk me through how to do it from start to finish. So I've never done this before, and if I'm quite honest with you, I'm not exactly looking forward to making it. So we'll see how it goes. So right, Dan, I'm all yours. What am I doing?
Right, so it'll say on the SOP just as this. You're going to have to start with the gnocchi. This is the hardest part. It's really the only technical part of the whole thing. Okay. So you'll take the dried potatoes, which you've got. There's no seasoning there or nothing. It's just bland dried potato. So you add that to a bowl. Yeah, all in the bowl, and then add the flour, egg yolk, the salt. There's 10 grams of salt, I think, for this recipe. You know, it might even be 5 grams. Just a good pinch of salt will do. And all the herbs that you have there.
Well, hold on. How much of this flour?
Yeah, all the flour. It's all weighed out to go in there.
Right, okay. And then salt, yeah?
Yeah, then a little pinch of table salt.
About that much?
Aye, that should be fine. Aye.
Okay.
Right, okay, then you need to zest the lemon and chuck the herbs in. There should be chives and tarragon there.
Just chop them up, yeah?
Yeah, chop them nice and fine.
No, lovely then.
Yeah, they're nice, really strong.
Okay.
Right, once that's in, you grate. Yeah, so you need the fine part of the grater, zest the lemon, and you just want the zest. You also need a little bit extra flour for dusting on the bench. As you need in the gnocchi, you'll need a little bit of flour because it's going to make your hands go quite sticky. Keep your hands floured and keep the bench floured a little bit.
Any kind of flour?
Yeah, 00 flour, that's the one we give you, but you can use normal flour. But the one that we give you is the best to use. For flour on the bench, it doesn't really matter. It's just so it doesn't stick.
Well, I've got a little bit of the 00 stuff left.
Right.
Okay.
Right, that'll do you. Then you just need the egg yolk in there, so you need to separate the egg. Now then you need to flour your hands and give that a good mix in the bowl. You can even mix it with a spoon in the bowl. So that's just to bind it together, just to start it off. But you'll need it when it's on the bench, on the chopping board. Sorry.
So I've mixed that up.
Yeah. Now you want to flour the chopping board. Mind you might need quite a bit of flour for this. Just depends, but we'll see how we get on. And just tip that all on the bench, I would say, actually.
You need more than that?
You might need a bit more than that. Well, you definitely will, actually, but just that'll do for now. But if you've got some there ready. You should have a pan of water there. Is it just about boiling or is it simmering or anything?
I've got a pan of water here and it's hot. We'll bring it to the boil.
Yeah.
Right.
There you go. Right now, tip that. Just tip the mix onto the bench there, onto the flour, and just start kneading it with your hands. You've got to activate the gluten in the flour, which will make it go elasticy, like you would with pasta. You just got to press it together and just keep going. It'll be really sticky at first, but just keep adding more flour to your hands and just keep kneading it. You've got to really work it. This is one of your exercises for the day.
Aye.
If you can't go out the house, that is. And just keep pressing it and keep pressing it. Be really strong with it. Chuck a little bit more flour on as it gets sticky, and as it takes all the flour off the board, add a little bit more. Does it feel like it's coming together now?
Yeah.
Right, now once that's all that flour there is absorbed, don't add any more. Just get it nice and elastic. You make sure it's nice and kneaded. Then you're going to roll it into a big long sausage shape, really long.
Okay. I've never done this before, like, so. I'm not sure when it's going to be ready.
No, it looks about right. Can you hold the dough up to the camera just so I can have a look? Yeah, it looks about right. Just roll it into like a bowl shape and then flatten it out into a sausage, and then you're going to slice it. Yeah, just like that. Roll it back and forward, aye.
That's quite a lot.
Aye, it'll be quite a lot, aye. It's the main element of it, really, you know, apart from the goat's cheese, like, but it's quite nice. So, right, you've got you should be, say if you can get 14 slices out of that.
I think it's still a bit thick.
I'll just keep rolling it. It's hard to judge it from here, but you'll know about the rough size.
It says in the SOP about the size of a pound coin.
Yeah, that'll be absolutely right, aye.
It's a bit more like a 50 pence, like, but
A £5 coin.
Right, okay, that's about right.
So when I say get 14 out of it, that's based on 7 per portion. I mean, if you can get 16, that's fine. But you understand what I mean. Just whatever you can get out of it. So all nice, the same size. That's perfect. And when you've done them, I will put them on a plate with a little bit of flour, just so you can drop it into the boiling water easily.
Okay.
Right, spot on. Right, so next I would take the goat's cheese slices onto a tray or a little pan, and you want to put a bit of oil with them and put them in the oven roasting.
So, 2 slices.
Yeah.
Just on it.
A little bit of oil on. A little bit of cracked black pepper on top as well is nice.
I need to put some oil on the tray as well.
Yeah, you can do. Just so it doesn't stick.
Pepper.
Yeah, just pepper. Pepper's fine. It's a salty cheese anyway, so you won't need any salt on that. And whack that in the oven for 8 to 10 minutes.
Okay. Why 8
Right
to 10?
now,
Why not just 9?
well, you could say 9 minutes. It depends on your oven. I would say 8 minutes. In the ovens in here, you can put it in for 7 and it will be done. But it depends on the power of the oven. Every oven's different.
The power of the oven.
You tried to catch me out there, didn't you?
Yeah.
Right, so next, you want to quarter the mushrooms. You should have a lemon there as well, do you? Still the lemon that you've grated?
Yeah.
Yeah, just because you'll need that later on. I couldn't see it, that's all. There she is.
There he is.
Right, so you get that frying pan really hot with a bit of oil in. Vegetable oil, that is.
Vegetable oil, yeah?
Yeah. Now, when you fry the mushrooms, the important thing with this is not to stir it. Chuck the mushrooms in and let them go brown. Just have confidence in it, because if you start moving the pan, the mushrooms got lots of water in, so it just draws out all the moisture and it'll start to boil them. So when you chuck the mushrooms in the pan, just leave them, let the pan get back to temperature and let them colour, and then just stir them slowly.
Okay. So we're letting that pan get nice and hot first?
Yeah, and then when you put oil in, it should start to smoke a little bit, then drop the mushrooms in.
Okay. I'm going to add a little bit more water to this pan because I've let it boil down a bit low.
Oh, it should be all right. I mean, you're only dropping that gnocchi in. I mean, how much water you got in there?
Just about that much.
Well, right, okay. Have you got any hot water out the kettle, maybe? Or?
Yeah, I've just boiled the kettle.
Right. You need plenty of salt in that water.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, that's it.
Pan's nice and hot.
Right, then you want to drop the mushrooms in, and just remember, just don't stir it around straight away. Is it frying quite nicely, that, is it?
Yeah, well, I can hear them frying, yeah.
Yeah, that's what you want to hear. You want to like shock, you want to hear it like that sizzling straight away. So then don't move them. Just put a little bit of table salt on them.
Okay.
Right, so your pan of water, I imagine that's not boiling yet, is it?
That's boiling, yeah.
It is boiling. Right,
Yeah.
so the idea now is it's quite fast paced. You'll be frying the mushrooms off. So at the same time, you'll be dropping the gnocchi into the pan of water. And when the gnocchi rises to the top, that's when it's ready. So not just yet. So what you're going to do, when they're in the water, the mushrooms should be halfway done. Then you can toss the mushrooms a bit, add the spinach with some butter, and then toss that around. And then you're going to take that off out of the frying pan. Then the gnocchi that's in the pan there boiling is going to go into that frying pan straight after. Okay? So it's quite fast.
Yeah, just don't know what to do.
I just go for it. Just drop the gnocchi in.
What, all of it?
Yeah.
One at a time?
Just pour it in. Then you'll be able to stir the mushrooms now. Just give them a good toss. That's it. Right, then you want to add the butter and spinach into the mushrooms if they've got a bit of colour on them.
Chop the spinach?
No, you don't need to. You can. I mean, it'll wilt it quicker, so...
All right, I'm just chucking it. Wait, what did you say about the gnocchi floating to the top?
When it floats to the top, that's when it's done.
Some of them have all just started floating.
Right, just turn that pan down a little bit, let it simmer. Then you need to toss the mushrooms and spinach and get them out of that pan onto a plate.
What, the plate I'm going to serve them on?
No, just on a plate to keep them there for now. So that can come off now, Mark, because it's going to go back in with the gnocchi.
So just tip it on a plate?
Yeah, tip it straight on, then the pan straight back over the heat, and then you want to put a little bit more oil in, then take a slotted spoon, lift the gnocchi out and get it straight in. But be careful you don't splash yourself, because there's a lot of water in there. And then you want to let them colour. Again, just like the mushrooms, don't shake them yet. That's it, right? You can get rid of that pan now. So they should be frying nicely. Now, I don't know if you'll be able to tell if there's any colour on the bottom of them, but are they really frying loudly, are they?
Yeah, they're getting going now.
Right, okay. Right, now if you take a spoon, you can even turn one of them over and see if it's golden brown on the other side.
I don't think they are yet. I can see the bottoms of them.
Right, okay, so just give it a toss then. Give it a good mix. They've got a nice colour on them, have they?
There's just a little bit of colour on them.
Right, so then you just leave the pan, let it stay hot like the mushrooms. Just let that fry now.
Okay.
And then just give it a stir soon. So the goat cheese should be nearly there.
Okay. Yeah, just a minute or two.
Right, okay. So the last thing you're going to do when the goat's cheese comes out and the gnocchi's got a bit of colour on it, you pour the mushrooms and spinach back in there, or you can just arrange it on the plate. It's up to you. I would just put them back in the pan, toss it around with a bit of lemon juice.
Okay. So, I'll let that fry for a little bit longer.
They look like they've got good colour on them. Can you hold them up to the camera?
Can we toss them first?
Yeah, yeah. You're getting good at that, Mark.
Huh?
You're getting good at that.
I've been watching Aaron.
Yeah, they look good, man.
Okay. So the goat's cheese is going to be ready now.
Right, so if you bring the goat's cheese out, let's have a look at it. Yeah, that's spot on, aye. Right, so that can go on the plate, the goat's cheese. If you lift it up with the lifter.
Yeah, I can't find the lift really.
You can even just use a spoon, to be honest, like, but it might be a bit of a nightmare.
Does everyone have this problem in the kitchen? Oh, here it is. In the middle, or?
Just on the side. Now you should be able to add the mushrooms and spinach back into the pan with the gnocchi and give that a mix with some lemon juice. And that should be it.
Just serve it.
Yeah, that's it. Just serve it. Just spoon it around the goat's cheese. You can put it in a nice line if you like, but it doesn't really matter.
There we go.
That's it then.
What do you think?
Yeah, it looks spot on, man. Looks lovely.
It looks good, doesn't it?
I see you can do that at work now, Mark.
I see. That means I don't need you, Dan.
Oh, yeah.
Well, like I said before, if I can do that, then anybody definitely can. And I think having Dan's sort of guidance and mentorship through that is, you know, priceless, really, because there's a few little quirky things that we did there that I wouldn't have a clue how to do, or I think the timing of things and how you get things all going at the same time's quite tricky. So it's really helpful doing that. So thanks, Dan.
Yeah, thank you.
And once again, thanks everybody for using Caboose Fresh. We hope to see you again soon. Cheers now.